Today, I'm going to talk about a gas exchange that occurs in the alveoli of the lungs. So, what occurs first is either you're going to be breathing in this air through your nose or you're going to breathe in this air through your mouth. So, this air is going to be carrying this oxygen and then it's going to travel down the trachea. The trachea is the windpipe that carries air into the lungs. So, this air is going to travel down the trachea and then it's going to be entering into the right or to the left lung. And this is going to be bringing in this oxygen into this primary bronchi, which would be these first trees that you're going to see here. And then it enters into the secondary bronchi and then travels into the bronchioles. So the bronchioles are going to be at the ends of these, they're just at the ends of the branches, and at the complete ends of the branches or the tips of the branches is where you'll find the alveoli sacs. They're going to be the grape-like clusters that are at the end of the bronchioles, and this is where the gas exchange occurs, is at the alveoli. So you have about 150 million alveoli sacs or alveoli period throughout the respiratory system in the lungs. So when you go down into the alveoli sacs here, this is what I've drawn here. This white on the this little white circle, this entire thing, this is the alveoli sac. I've just drawn one of them, and then you can see I've drawn this blood vessel here. This blood vessel is the alveoli are going to be lined with capillary beds where they have blood vessels and veins there that are bringing in red blood cells and carrying them out at the same time. So just for simplicity reasons, I've just drawn it like this for you to see. So as the oxygen travels down the lungs and enters into the alveoli, what you're going to have is gas exchange with the red blood cells and through this tissue here. So the red blood cells, which are what I've drawn here in the blood vessels, they're going to be carrying this CO2 that's passing that has to be exchanged with the oxygen. So that CO2 is going to diffuse across this membrane while the oxygen is diffusing in the other direction. So that O2 would be diffusing onto the red blood cells, and then that carbon dioxide is leaving the red blood cells. This is one of the reasons why you breathe in oxygen and then you're breathing out CO2, because they're exchanging with each other. So once you replace that oxygen on top of that red blood cell, you have that CO2 has to go somewhere, so you breathe it out. And the structure of the alveoli sac is what is allowing you to allowing this gas exchange to occur. You can see I've drawn a bunch of blue cells here, which would be a simple squamous epithelium. On the inside, the red little dots inside of them would be their nuclei, so you can see that it's multiple different cells. But what you're looking at, you have to pay attention to the structure of them, because the way that they're lining the alveoli sac, they are a simple layer of cells. Simple, if they're telling you it's a simple epithelium, they're telling you that it's just one layer of cells. If it would be a stratified layer, it would be multiple layers. So it would look something like this. It would be multiple cells on top of each other like this. And then if it was a simple layer, like how it is inside of the alveoli sac, the purpose is for this gas exchange to occur. So that oxygen is able to diffuse out, and then that CO2 is diffusing through back that way. So if it was multiple layers or this stratified squamous epithelium, it would not be able to do its job or have its function, because it's harder to diffuse this oxygen and then diffuse the CO2 the same way through these multiple layers. So this here is allowing you to see how the structure is matching the functions. They're literally lined with this simple layer of epithelium so that they can diffuse this oxygen through. And this is what is occurring in the alveoli for gas exchange.